Yeah, it used to be Light Cheese.
Oh, there you go.
Where the shopping centre was.
So they owned that farm.
We used to go down and steal the Light Cheese.
Mr. Piccone, if you're watching, it was she. Welcome to another episode of A Cup of Tea with Bree, where I get to know some of North Queensland's most amazing parents, incredible business people and inspiring characters. Now, this week's guest is the founder and owner of Riverlea Wellness Retreat, nurturing, nourishing and healing women at this property in Malanda. Please welcome the incredible Sammy McDornan.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
I really feel like I should be at your retreat right now.
Well, you'll have to come to the next one.
I will.
Yes.
I've been looking for something like that. We can all do with some time where we just
absolutely
spend time with ourselves and have someone take care of all of the things.
Absolutely. And my retreats, you know, I get as much out of the day as everybody who comes, but everybody's energy as a collective all helps each other, as well as me helping everybody. So it's really a group effort.
It's amazing how, you know, everyone comes as strangers but leaves as friends in those experiences. Beautiful. And you have the right people in the room every single time.
Yes, yes.
It's amazing how you just sort of, I don't know, you just draw in the right people that all need to meet. And
absolutely.
hang out.
And every time I do a retreat, that's what happens.
Yep.
The people that need to come. I do have a lot of women say, I don't even know why
I booked
or why I was coming. And at the end of the day, they're like, oh, that's why I needed to come.
That's why.
So you don't have to have a solid reason. You just need to feel that call to say, yes, I'm going to go do that.
Exactly.
And it's only one day. So as a mum of little kids, I know how hard it is to take time.
Yep.
So that's
why. So you
can't
do like a month with you? Oh, disappointing.
Unless we go somewhere together away from everyone, we could do that. But yeah, so that's sort of why I created just the day.
Yeah.
So people who don't have space to have overnights and everything like that can just come up for the day.
Yeah.
Still getting away from Cairns, and like the days we do a lot in the day. So you do come out the other side feeling quite transformed.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't want people walking away going, oh, that was a bit boring. So
I finally find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the beginning.
Yes.
I want to know about your early days, your childhood. Where were you born? Tell me about your siblings.
Yeah, I'm born and bred Cairns.
Awesome.
Yes, so I grew up here. I'm a Northern Beaches girl at Smithfield. It's my mum, my dad and my brother.
Awesome.
So mum and dad built their house at Smithfield when there was probably about 5 houses out there.
Yeah, wow.
So that was back in the late 70s.
Now there's like something like, oh gosh,
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like 6,000 people that live just in Smithfield.
Yes.
And that's just voters.
Yeah. Well,
that's not the children. I know that stat now. And that's not even children and people that aren't on the electoral roll. So it's one of the biggest suburbs in the Northern Beaches.
And it was amazing to grow up in Cairns because we had the fresh water. You could sort of swim in the beaches back then. But, you know, just the atmosphere of a small country town.
Yes.
It was amazing. So, but
I know the Piccones, they owned where the shopping centre is now. They used to own that cane farm now.
Yes. Yeah, it used to be Light Cheese.
Oh, there you go.
Where the shopping centre was.
So they owned that farm.
We used to go down and steal the Light Cheese.
Mr. Piccone, if you're watching, it was she.
Yeah, so I grew up in Cairns, but I moved away when I was about 19. I moved to Sydney and then I went straight overseas.
Good for you.
Yeah, I knew after school that I didn't want to go to university. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just needed to travel and do life. So my brother owned a bar in Mallorca in Spain. So my mum dropped me off there and said, see you later.
Wow, what a great mum.
Yeah, and that was sort of just the start of my travelling. So I travelled on and off for about 15 years. I worked on super yachts overseas. So that got me to a lot of amazing places and countries that you could really never afford to go to as a normal person. And while I was travelling overseas and coming back to Cairns, I was a DJ. So a lot of people might know me from that part of my life.
Yep.
As
Funny how you've gone from DJ Doof Doof Beats to like relaxing retreats
and sound healer.
and zen.
I'm still doing sound, but it's just more zen.
Therapeutic.
Yeah.
But still, I agree. The sound of those beats
Absolutely.
put you in a trance.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I've had a pretty interesting life, but Cairns has always drawn me back.
Been home.
Yes.
It's a special place, Cairns.
It's amazing. And all the places in the world I've ever been, Cairns is the best.
It is.
Absolutely.
I think people don't realise that until
you've gone. Yeah, yeah.
Or travelled the world and seen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So what did you want to be when you grew up? Because it sounds like...
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And, looking back now, I know, for me anyway, I needed something that was my soul's purpose.
Yes.
And, I wasn't worried that I didn't know coming out of school what I wanted to be. My parents didn't put any pressure on me. There was always an amazing work ethic from my parents just to go and do something and learn life skills, get involved in the community and just grow that way. So I've done a lot of different jobs, which has all been a stepping stone
to where you are now.
To where I am now.
It's amazing how it all just fits.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't 40 until I found my purpose, which is what I do now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. So what made you start your business then? Because, wellness retreats for women is it men and women?
Just women.
Just women.
Yes. Yeah.
It's quite, not something that everyone gets into.
No. So 2017, my husband and I got married 2016 and we'd been struggling to have a baby. So we were going through IVF process and infertility and then one of my best friends died in a really horrible accident. And then 8 weeks later, my husband was in a workplace accident and his boat sank off 1770. He was on the fishing vessel Diane and he was the only survivor. So everything it was the catalyst of pretty much a breakdown of myself, of him. I fell into pretty bad depression. I had a lot of survivor's guilt, even though it wasn't me who was in the accident, but I was the wife who got her husband back. So there was a lot to work through and process. I sort of had to do it on my own because I cut everyone out of my life. I was in such a dark place. I couldn't answer the phone. I couldn't go to work. A lot of friends just sort of fell off because I wouldn't talk to them. It was nothing personal, but it was my depression.
Conservation of self.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to get myself out of that as well. I had to work really hard. So I started I was always into the more alternate health, but I had to dive really deep for my own well-being. And to save myself and mine and my husband's relationship was the strongest it had ever been, but he was dealing with his own issues as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we were on the journey together, but separately.
Yeah.
So with the fertility stuff, it sort of led me down the path of wanting to help women with fertility, but on a holistic approach. I never had the support or the help other than the medical system, which really didn't resonate with me. I'm so glad we had it because our first baby was IVF. But there is other ways, you know. Our infertility was unexplained. So after going through everything, it was an emotional block for both my husband and I. It wasn't nothing physical. So a lot of people are going through fertility issues and doctors are like, we don't know what's wrong. But, you know, there's so much behind the scenes. There's environmental, emotional, spiritual and physical within our reproductive system. So that's what has sort of led me to what I do now, which also incorporates, you know, there's a lot of trauma. We've all been through trauma that people hold. And the treatments I do, especially one-on-one and the retreats, it's really like tapping into yourself and letting go and knowing that it's okay to accept it, be able to move forward, look it in the face, cry, yell, scream, and then go, okay, I'm ready. I can move forward now.
Yeah.
So that's really my purpose, is to be the person that I didn't have through everything that I went through. And, you know, having been through everything and been in the trenches, I can relate to people.
Yeah.
Everyone's experience is different, so I never assume what they are going through, but I can relate in some way. And, you know, that's a comforting thing for a lot of my clients, especially with the fertility and not falling pregnant or losing babies. You know, I've had just in the last year 4 losses of babies. But I can